Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray.
Good morning. I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
How good we're out today. It's a pretty day.
It's a
Oh my
gorgeous
gosh, I could hardly
day
get
out
to
there.
the studio without stopping and looking at the trees.
They're changing. They're starting to
absolutely
change, aren't
awesome.
they?
Yeah, it is. It's almost fall, isn't it? For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, one of the things we want to make sure, now this is for you Tullahoma folks, it's Fall Cleanup Day, and that's this Saturday, and that's put together by the Tullahoma, it's not Park and Recs, it's, what is it?
Whoever, people need to get involved.
Everybody. And the Keep Coffee County Beautiful, and you can meet at the Tullahoma shop at 8 o'clock, in between 8 and noon, this Saturday, the 20th. And they'll give you bags and rakes and whatever you need. Bring a group of people with you, and they'll just go out and just clean.
It's wonderful.
It'll be a lot of fun, folks. You know.
Yeah.
And we wish we could tell you who's putting that on, but John Staff. John Staff didn't prepare.
This is not gonna get ready, yeah.
It's Keep Coffee County Beautiful, so it is, and the
The important thing is to get
Wayne
involved
Limbo's
and
group
clean up.
down
If you don't do
there.
anything more
Public
than walk
Works,
up
yeah.
down your
Public
road.
Works. That's what I was
Public
looking
Works.
for. How obvious is that when you're asking the public to come out and work? It ought to be at Public Works.
Ought to be sponsored by Public Works.
Sure should.
John and Peggy were talking before we went on the air about, well, it wasn't really a taboo subject. We don't typically talk about politics on living, but I guess you were just talking about the comedians that
Comedians
really
that represent both
taking off on the
sides.
presidential debates. By the way, if you're watching this today, which is Tuesday, I guess the
tonight.
presidential debate
Is it
will come.
tonight? This is
yes,
Tuesday,
yes,
8
it will
o'clock.
come on after this show goes
Yeah.
off tonight.
Right.
So,
8 o'clock.
Right.
yeah.
And I think everybody should watch, and I think whoever you vote for, get out there and vote. It's so
Vote.
important. Have a voice and know why you're voting.
That's true.
I mean, don't vote for somebody because they're pretty or because vote for the right reasons, right?
Exactly.
Did you read that article in the paper about a lot of women when Kennedy ran? A lot of people voted for him just because he was handsome, and then a lot of different reasons that people vote, and hopefully it's for the issues.
Oh, you would think so, because well, you know, the economy in this country, and it's not just this country. You know, the world is changing so that you just really don't have. I mean, everything's global, and it affects everything that you do. Every little thing you do, the ripples of it just travel around the world, and it's really hard. I know it is for me, and I'm not the sharpest tool in the bag, but I got a little sense.
We are, aren't we?
Yeah, we're pretty sharp over
I
here.
got a little bit of sense, and it seems like the older I get, the more I realize that it's a lot of this stuff is just beyond. It's so far-reaching that it's hard to realize what the little things that you do,
Exactly.
how it affects everything,
everything
and
else.
it makes it difficult to make an educated decision on something because there's so many factors involved.
There is, and you know, Peggy mentioned she hoped everybody was along that line, and which is where you were going at that, I'm sure, is that you should be informed about that. But it's tough to be informed, and surprisingly, a lot of people really don't even focus on this till
I know.
next week, probably.
Next week, and then it's time to vote.
Yeah.
And they're wondering, well, yeah.
Because you know, going into that first presidential debate, President Obama had a pretty comfortable lead, and you know, that just vanished basically after that debate.
Right.
So
That's
you
interesting
would
what
think
can happen.
that philosophically, probably if you were really plugged into that, you wouldn't have changed your mind based on what either one of them said. But
Yeah.
but
The people who aren't plugged in, that affects them.
it does. It
And
does.
that's why money has become so important, which it shouldn't be.
No, I
You know,
keep
there
thinking
should be a
about-
limit set that each one of them has
Can
X
spend.
amount of dollars to spend. But, I mean, in my mind,
It's insane. You're
but
exactly
you know, the
right.
money, and so all of a sudden, you know, the week before, the 2 weeks before, whoever's got the most money is just has stuff everywhere, their faces everywhere, their voices everywhere, their keynotes, those key words that they've said are everywhere, and all of a sudden people, when they go in to pull the trigger, they go, well, he must be the guy.
Right. I keep
Click.
thinking we could pay off the national debt with all that money.
Yeah, well, you know, it is really insane what they're spending.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
The candidates themselves, I think last month President Obama raised $180 million Mitt Romney raised $170 million.
Just think about that.
I mean,
How
that's
big-
just in 1 month.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
amazing.
not counting all the other political action committees that are raising money
Constantly,
which
exactly.
has nothing to do with the campaign because they changed that law. You know, they don't. Political action committees don't even have to disclose who gave to them,
Yeah,
which I find
that's it.
I find extremely really concerns me. That
It concerns me too.
because you could have
Yeah.
China over here sending
You're
money
right.
over here to
Exactly.
beat a candidate or something.
Well,
like
you know,
that.
Conflict
how
of
I feel,
interest.
I feel about it sometimes. You remember the old Hercules movies years ago, and Hercules would be fighting a giant or some type of a minotaur or monster or something, and up above the clouds you see Zeus and the gods are looking down, pulling strings, you know, throwing another obstacle in his way. And sometimes these money-raising groups like that, sort of, you know, you sort of say, well, who really is in charge? It's the guy with the money who's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Who's in charge,
And there's something wrong with
and
that.
not just in this country, everywhere. You know,
It's true.
It's really,
true.
it's really pretty weird.
I saw a cartoon on Facebook yesterday, which is somewhat true. It was a picture of these people standing in line with their voter IDs, picture IDs to vote, and then there's this rich guy dragging a bag of money, and he's walking by them, and they said, "How come he doesn't have to show his photo ID to vote?" And they said, then the other one said, he's not trying to vote. He's already bought this election. You know, so
As long as the money he's dragging, he went out and worked for it. He went out and earned
that's
it.
True. That's true. So
Anyway.
back to don't forget the cleanup day.
Right,
this Saturday.
Also, what's happening this weekend is the Sunny Acres Haunted Asylum opens at South Jackson Civic Center for kids and parents and anybody that wants to go get a little bit of spooking in.
Yeah.
Whatever you call
Last
that.
year it was South Jackson
Elementary school one. Today
And this
it's
year
Sunny Acres.
it's Sunny Acres Asylum.
There are many times when I think I may just go and join in.
Well, you
I'll
know,
just go to the asylum and stay.
A lot of times we'll be over there at South Jackson and we'll be crazy anyways.
Right. Well, Erica Wonder and her crew has put together a
doing
great
a good
weekend
job.
for the kids. They're doing a really great
Doing a
job.
good job. And speaking of good jobs, I don't know who your favorites are, but the Manning boys had a big weekend this weekend.
they did, didn't they? Both
Eli
of them.
went out to the West Coast to play San Francisco that was undefeated and beat them like a drum. Last night, Peyton goes out to the West Coast out there to play the Chargers, and he's behind 24-0 at the
Oh,
end of the
wow.
first half
I didn't watch
and
it.
won the ball game 35-24.
How good is that?
That's well, it's,
It is
about
gosh.
as good as it
That's
gets.
about as good as it gets.
phenomenal,
yeah.
you know. And have you noticed that since before Peyton, I didn't ever notice the Denver playing much on TV around here, you know, but since Peyton's been there, I mean, it's every week that you can pretty
You
much
can see Peyton.
You can see Peyton.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Well, and the thing about it is, it's so funny. Is all the talking heads, and that's that's in politics, it's in football,
everything,
it's
yeah.
everywhere. You know, somebody does something or says something, and then you've got 12 people telling
Yeah.
you what they said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Well, you know, at the first of that ball game and all day yesterday, they were talking about, well, I don't know whether Peyton's going to really make it back. I don't know whether his arm's strong enough.
Here he goes.
And in the first half, he's getting beat. He's getting beat down. Oh, he just hadn't got it anymore.
Right.
And then 30 minutes later, he's king of the world.
King of the world, that's right.
Unbelievable.
It's funny. And hey, don't forget Tullahoma Wildcats are playing football this Friday night, traveling to McMinnville to Warren County to play up there after a great victory over Shelbyville, which pretty much guarantees us a playoff spot.
And a home game.
Possibly
a home game. Okay.
if we win the next two games, be a home spot, and that's great. Congratulations, Wildcats. And Coffee
Exactly.
County won a football game, first
Good.
game of the year.
They did, and
Fantastic.
that's great for those kids too, because they've kept their head up. They've had kind
Yeah.
of a tough season, but they come in. We see them every Saturday morning, some
Yeah.
of them, and they always have a great attitude. About
They
it.
eat a lot of food when they come over.
Yeah,
Yeah, the football players are hungry.
Oh, I know. It's hard to feed one.
They are hungry. They eat sausage and biscuits and donuts. You'll think you've got a plenty over there. Next thing you know,
They're all gone.
They're gone. It's gone. 'Cause those old boys can eat. But
UT kind of had a rough night Saturday
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
You're seeing people out there too. Of course, they lost to Mississippi State. It was closer than the score might indicate, because Mississippi State scored with about 2 seconds left, I think, or something like
yeah.
that. But
Well, and Mississippi State's playing great football this year.
they're 6-0 this year. And you read that maybe this is Dooley's last year. Which I find that hard to believe. I don't know what you think about that.
I think Dooley is a good coach. I think after what Lane Kiffin did to the University of Tennessee football program, the way he came in there and in 2 years absolutely destroyed it,
Right.
it's going to take a little bit of time.
I do too,
for
and
somebody
I
to
think he
rebuild
deserves
that program.
I think he deserves at least 4 years, so the people he recruited as freshmen get to be seniors. But
Yeah.
of course, I know a lot of you folks
Big money.
don't agree with that.
Talking about money, that's big
money, big
Of course
money.
it is, but their athletic budget's over $100 million a year at UT, so it's a big business. No wonder the coaches make what they make when you're in
Sure.
that kind of.
The thing about him is he is a good man.
He is.
And he understands football. He's from a football family.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't think he is the right guy to coach, I would think he would be a great guy to be the athletic director.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope they keep him in that program up there, because
Yeah.
he's a class act.
And he's
Exactly.
under a lot of pressure. Really.
Oh, they all are.
Everybody's
And I
under
think they probably
pressure.
will, because
Sure.
I think his buyout on his contract at the end of this year is $5 million. So that's probably
Whoa.
not going to happen. I think they just got Phil Fulmer paid off
Yeah.
about 6 months ago. So
So but that's big. That's big money. Those programs are big money, and it's like being a football coach in a place like that is like being a president of a company.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And every weekend you have a board meeting.
Yeah.
Every weekend
Every
your board of
weekend,
directors,
you've
all
got your-
100,000 of them,
Or waiting for you.
Stockholders
to make
are
some
there.
huge
With
decisions.
with an opinion,
with
everyone
an opinion,
everyone of them has an
and
opinion.
all those little other coaches are vice presidents.
That's right. That's
and
right.
heads roll
Heads roll.
because
Yeah.
people want to see that victory.
Yeah, that's right.
And what we want you to do is stay with us, because we're going to have a great show today, have a lot of exciting things to talk about. First, we're going to show you some messages from some of our great friends, our sponsors. And we appreciate them very much, for without them, we would not be here for 20 years serving you in Tullahoma and the surrounding area with local information and local TV. We'll be right back.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
welcome back to Living. You'll be glad you stayed. I have a new friend, Evelyn Wiseman. Hi, Evelyn.
Hi.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
I'm so delighted to meet you and have had such a short time to know who you are. Evelyn comes to us from First United Methodist Church, and we're going to talk today a little bit about an event that's happening on November 6th besides the election, right?
Yes. You can vote and still come for lunch.
Right. And,
yes, we're going to be having a luncheon. It's as far as Golden Circle at the United Methodist Church. We have a monthly luncheon every month, but this time it's going to be a very special luncheon in that we are celebrating celebrating the time with Thanksgiving, with also having an Indian speaker from the American Indian Society to come. And I think Peggy has talked to him and knows quite a bit more about him than I do.
You know, what I'm interested in is the fact that you decided to have a speaker for your meeting when you called me and mentioned needing a Native American speaker. I instantly thought of Floyd Ayers up in Winchester, and he put me in contact with Pat Cummings. And Pat Cummings, what did I say, he was the president of the Native History Association out of Nashville, and he's done so many things concerning the Cherokee in this area, and I think that's mainly what he's going to speak on.
It's Thanksgiving time, and I thought, who else could we have that would celebrate Thanksgiving more than having someone from this Cherokee area coming up here? I found this used to be the Cherokee Nation. It's the center of the Cherokee Nation, and I hear bits and pieces, but I couldn't hear the whole story. And I like stories. So anyway, I thought it would be so great if someone could come and talk to us about the Cherokee Indians and tell us the real facts and the real history. So this is something I'm looking forward to, and I know our Golden Circle is.
And your Golden Circle is this is your seniors?
Our seniors, our Golden Circle is our seniors. So it's going to be a luncheon for senior citizens. And we're opening it up to seniors in the community who would like to come and hear this. Our cost is very reasonable. It's going to be just bring a covered dish. When you're going to have an unexpected number of people, it's good to know there's going to be plenty of food. So if everybody brings a covered dish, there'll be plenty of food.
And this is going to start at 11:30. So you start bringing your food around 11?
About 11:15, be there. And also, if you're going to come, please call the church so we will have enough tables set up so everyone can sit there.
Do you
we'll
have
have
the
a
number
place.
on the tip of your tongue of the First United Methodist Church?
Yes, and that's 455-5434.
5434. 455-5434. If we could get that on the screen, it would be nice. There we go.
Okay.
And if you'll call that number and just say, well, yes, I'd like to come, then we'll make sure there's tables for you. And the luncheon itself starts at 11:30. And I guess the speaker will be after you eat.
Either before or after, according to their schedule. We try to fit our speakers in. And there's also going to be open for questions. I don't know about you, but it seems like there's always people who'd like to know more. So if you want to know more and you want to ask questions, that's going to be welcomed. Also, if we would like for you to be able to come and fellowship with us, and the idea of Thanksgiving to me is sharing, people coming together to share. So we're sort of trying to tie this all in together and having a sharing time, a eating time, and learning about the history of the Cherokee Nation that's really part of Tennessee.
And I think there's a lot of stories that go around that are not real true, and that's why I wanted Pat Cummings here, because he is involved with Indian affairs all across Tennessee. And
not only that, but the Native American Association has just recently identified a little known segment of the infamous Trail of Tears, and it's right up here close to Normandy Lake. So this, I think, since we've just found this out, I thought this would be interesting to come and find out more about what they've discovered and more about the trails. In fact, they say there's 4 or 5 trails, and all of them went through Tennessee.
All the trails went through Tennessee, and some started in Tennessee. And there was a water trail and 3 land trails, and they all passed through Tennessee. And I think that, well, when I say that, I'm talking about the Trail of Tears, which, of course, in the 1830s, when the Native Americans were forced, the Cherokee were forced to leave their homes and go to Oklahoma. And I mean, it brings tears to my eyes when I think about some of the children without shoes and going through the cold of winter and marching and walking, most of them, all the way. It's amazing they had enough that lived.
And it is part of Tennessee history. So I think anyone who is in this area that is interested in this history and interested in our speakers and interested in sharing a dinner with us or a luncheon with us, you're welcome. But it's for senior adults, and this is usually 60, 65 and older. And I think this is probably more meaningful to them than it would be even some of the younger people, because we've heard about it, but we haven't heard the true story probably all the way.
I'm excited that you call me about this, because I've always had a strong interest in the Native Americans, especially, well, all over, but here in Tennessee, because we do have this rich Cherokee heritage, and we need to be proud of it, and we need to push it into all our lives to understand it. And I think that cooking one little covered dish, I'm planning on coming.
Okay, I want you to come.
I'm planning on being there, and I'm excited about it. How many people can you all seat there? It's in the activity center.
It's in our dining room. We can seat quite a few. It's according to how many people come in. So we have round tables, and we'll need to set up the tables and the chairs and for decorations. So we do need to know how many is coming. But we could seat up to 50 or 60 people, or better. And so if they are probably more if they come. But our dining room is quite large, but we usually have it divided if we needed to, but we can move back the curtain and even make it larger if we need to.
Well, I like that room because I think it lends itself to question and answers, because you can hear good in there.
Yes.
And that's nice. You guys do a great job there at First United Methodist Church. If you don't know where that church is, you happen to be up in Swanee and don't know what I'm talking about, well, it's on South Jackson Street, but the area you go to is on Lauderdale.
Across from the post office.
Yeah, if you're coming from Shelbyville, then you would turn right on Lauderdale. If you're coming the other direction, you'd turn left.
Yes.
And you can't miss it, because First United Methodist Church is huge, and it's right there on the street, the one with beautiful windows, and right close to the post office.
And it's the Davidson Hall, and you'll see a large sign that says First Light on it, which is our 9 o'clock Sunday service sign. But it says First Light, so you'll know you're at the right building when you come to that building. And we will certainly look forward to people coming, and we're looking forward to this program.
Evelyn, talking to you this morning, I found out you've only lived here in Tullahoma, what, 5 years?
Yes.
And how great it is that you decided to come to Tullahoma.
Well,
Where'd you come from?
It was by a fluke accident. My son's corporate attorney told me about it. Derek Crownover, who's now in Nashville, told us about it. And told us about Tullahoma. So we came and was here just looking around, and within 2 days we bought 2 houses. So we have loved Tullahoma. It's been a beautiful place to come.
Well, I know that Tullahoma is proud to have you, and I'm glad you love it here, and I'm glad you came. And are you the president of the senior group or something?
I programs. I realized we needed programs that older people needed, things of interest. So I found all these interesting people and asked them if they would come and talk to our people. And there's all kind of interesting people around here.
This place, Tullahoma and the Middle Tennessee region, is full of lots of people that would love to come and inform on different areas.
They have been, and we've had people from up in Swanee. We've had, it's just interesting because I run into them and I think, this would be interesting for these people who don't get out into the community. These are people who are more closed in. Why can't I bring the world to them if they can't go out into the world?
And how much better it is to come out and be among people than to sit home on the couch.
Yes, so instead of sitting home and not doing something.
I think it's entertaining.
And not only that, but when you come, you always find somebody there you already know, so it's not like a bunch of strangers. It's just town people that you probably already know.
And let's tell them one more time that it's November 6th, and that's Election Day, as everyone knows. So all you have to do is take a break for lunch and come and ask your questions and see Pat Cummings, who is a wonderful speaker, and he's done much to promote the history and the heritage of the Native Americans, especially in this region. Evelyn, it's been such fun having you here. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for inviting us. So
we'll be back with more of Living.
Thank you.
I'm Judd Matheny, approving this message as your Tennessee State Representative for the 47th District. When some of you think of me as State Representative, you picture me in a coat and tie at the historic and beautiful state capitol. Nashville's a scenic city. From the Parthenon to the Ryman, it's easy to lose focus. I want you to know that when I serve there, all I can think about is improving your quality of life and protecting your rights here. Nashville's beautiful, but it has nothing on the citizens of the 47th District.
Our office used to look like this, but now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right?
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Wherever good can overcome, that is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and I'm proud to have with me today a friend, a young Tullahoma man who is traveling the world not only through his eyes, but bringing it back to us through the eyes of his camera. Mr. Barrett Hedges is with us this morning, and good morning, sir.
It's good to be here.
And be here you are in Tullahoma area for
the next couple of months, and then I'll be off on another journey, but be around the area for the next couple of months.
And tell everybody why, and that's because it's festival time?
Yeah, it's art festival season where I travel around to different areas all over the South for weekend shows and set up a booth and have all my pictures displayed to sell my photography to make a living.
And other than that, are you still guiding? I know for a while you were guiding up north.
Yeah, this past summer I was a photo tour guide in Yellowstone National Park, and I might do that again next summer, but right now it's probably just more focusing on the art festivals and then having my own fun and traveling.
So you said you're going to go up into Montana maybe and do a little skiing?
Yeah, I have a friend working up there this winter and hopefully going to go up there and do some backcountry skiing high up in the mountains and maybe look for some bighorn sheep that are up there roaming around with the beautiful scenery behind them. So, but very isolated, very alone, very awesome, and cold.
And cold.
Yes.
And cold. You know, for you folks that don't know, I'm going to show you here the National Geographic Untamed Americas DVD, and this is narrated by Josh Brolin, and the picture on the cover of it was done by Barrett Hedges. And that's pretty exciting. Last year, was it last year that you...
2 years ago.
2 years ago that you won the National Geographic
Ultimate Photo Contest.
Ultimate Photo Contest. Folks, that's somebody right here from our part of the woods going off and winning a national contest. More than national, I guess, and worldwide.
Right, yep.
Because National Geographic goes everywhere, and this guy right here was the winner.
Number one.
what kind of doors does that open? How does that help a young man to have that on his resume when you're walking around the world wanting to be a known photographer?
Yeah, so in the art world and photography world, a lot of it's credibility and your name, and obviously having National Geographic attached to my name or anybody's name is a big boost. It gives you that instant credibility. People are like, oh, okay, he must know something what he's doing to have won something with them. And I do have a contract with them where I'm a freelance photographer for them now, where I submit stuff and they use it. Whenever they use my stuff, I get paid. So just the
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. The credibility is the biggest thing, though, with any artist. And
right.
National Geographic gives you that credibility.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the calendar, and this is Barrett's new calendar. It's the 2013 calendar, and it has beautiful photos. Just keep that right there. I want to find, where is that?
April.
Look at this. Look at that. Now, when you look at that, it almost doesn't look like it's a real thing. It looks like it's animation or created somehow.
Yeah,
on a
and
computer.
that's actually a picture from a slot canyon in Arizona where the light only comes through for about 15 minutes of the day and only a certain time of the year. So it's a very precise, timing, and figuring that out, is all that goes into the picture before you ever take the picture.
And you have to be there at the right
yeah,
time.
Absolutely.
Sort of like Lara Croft Tomb Raider, huh? You got to be there when the planets line
absolutely.
up. But that's incredible. And all of the photographs in here are. Here's another one right here. Oh, where is it? Where'd it go?
The owl face.
Yeah, the owl face.
Yeah. I'll get it real fast. Yeah, right there.
Right there. Look at that. Who? You. That's who. Isn't that great? Look at that. How close actually were you to that beast?
I was very close. I was probably 20 feet.
20 feet, and that's a big horned owl, or is
a
that
great horned owl, baby great horned owl?
Yeah. Isn't that phenomenal? Folks, you can get these. Tell them where they can pick these calendars up.
Yeah, so right now they're actually located, they're not on my website yet, but will be within next week. You can buy them online, and they're also at Couches downtown. They have them there selling them for me. So that's 2 places right now. I'm looking for other places, but definitely Couches and my website in the next week.
Okay, so go see Sister Candy down at Couches down
there. And my
there.
website is bearheadphoto.com.
Bearheadphoto.com.
Yep. I like bears.
The bears. What, other than their just massiveness and the wildness of that whole thing, I guess that just attracts you, doesn't it?
It does. I've always been drawn to bears since I was a little kid. Barrett, my name actually means bear-like. My parents don't know how well they named me, but
they didn't realize that, did
but
they?
I've just always, up in Alaska, bear guiding, and just always been attracted to the bears. Yes, they're a scary animal, but you do have to respect them, and that's the biggest thing when photographing bears is the respect and understanding their ways of movement and researching that kind of thing.
Well, obviously, by looking at that right there, having a creek between you and them doesn't make a whole lot of difference.
Oh, no, a creek doesn't matter at all. They can run right through that water faster than you could run on land, so.
All right, so what's your take on, do you have any, are you basically an animal guy? Is that your biggest?
Yeah, wildlife photography is my biggest love of photography. I do the nature photography as well, but I go looking for the wildlife, and obviously it's in beautiful areas, and so I take some nature
beautiful
landscape.
Pictures.
Right, exactly, but I go more looking for the wildlife side of photography. It's a little bit more challenging because you never know where they're going to be.
That's true. Headed to Montana, selling calendars.
Yeah.
What's the next big step for a guy like you? I know you're a smart guy, and you try to plan, and I know in what you do it's very difficult. But do you have a little sort of a checklist that you're in your mind of things you'd like to accomplish?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Obviously, going on assignment with National Geographic, actually having them send me somewhere is, the next step, goal, hope. I'm actually, trying to work a deal with some videographer friends of mine who are top of the line BBC guys, trying to actually hook along with them and go to India in March, which would be an amazing experience and opportunity with them. So that's kind of like I'm working toward that. I hope that happens for March, but don't know yet, but that'd be obviously the next great opportunity for me.
So they would be doing video, and you would be doing still shot work there?
Yes.
And then tie that together with them?
Yep.
In a product?
Yeah. So it'd be an awesome experience, and then they, the contacts they know, their connections and everything, and it's just all about connections, getting to know people, taking advantage of every opportunity, and I'm trying to do my best at that.
Well, it looks like to me you're doing pretty good at it. Do you still kick an extra point or a field goal every now and then?
Oh yeah, it's just bring back the old days.
I want you folks to realize that Barrett was the kicker for the Tullahoma High School football team years ago, and did it very well. And also is when he's in town, he's out on the field and sort of giving pointers to the kids that are out there working hard now. And
I enjoy helping out the younger guys and give them a little bit of leadership, and direction.
Right. Folks, this is Barrett Hedges. When you see something that was taken by him, a photograph, a calendar, get you one. Help a guy make his way to India.
And this weekend I'll actually be at the Bell Buckle Art Festival just down the road.
Down the road.
I'll have a booth at Bell Buckle, so it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. The volunteers don't play till 7, so you can come out and check it out.
It's all is well, and of course they're playing Alabama.
They are playing Alabama.
So that game will be
feel free to come and check it out beforehand, and I'll be there.
All right. Barrett Hedges, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you. And you keep coming back, letting us know what's going on.
I will.
Okay,
I will.
man.
All right.
We'll be back after these messages.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
I think we have a clip that I'm not totally sure where it came from, but I believe it's the South Jackson Street Band, of which I'm a member, and if you ever need a big band, let me know. Anyway, I believe this is Jim Zidane giving us New York, New York.
Part of it, New York, New York.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices, or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
All right, folks, I'm smiling when I came back because I'm with two lovely ladies here, Miss Joanne Halcomb and Patsy Freeman, and they are here to talk about, they're horsing around.
That's right.
They're here to talk about horseplay and all the wonderful things that horseplay does, and an event that you're getting ready to have.
That's right. Yes. That's right. We're finishing up our 2012 year. We had 25 children ride with us this year. And we rode again last night in the cool weather, which was a nice break. But we continue to grow. We just had a wonderful service project from Lowe's here in town. Came out, 29 of their employees on their free time came out and just worked themselves.
They do good things.
Oh, wonderful. And so every year we have a big luncheon to fund the upcoming year. And this helps to pay for the feed and the insurance and the hay and...
Because our program is free. You know, the children don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, and that's wonderful.
So that's why we raise this money, is to pay for the program.
Right, right. And where's that going to be held this year?
Well, the luncheon, and I brought you some tickets to pass out among the staff.
Oh, thank you.
We call it Horsing Around for Lunch, as you mentioned, and it goes from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. on Friday the 26th of October at the First United Methodist Church, and we have a huge menu.
I know you've been there, John.
I've been there. I haven't missed one.
Turkey, ham, mac and cheese, cream potatoes, and the desserts you can't even... No, well, besides the turkey and the dressing, did I leave that out? But the desserts are so numerous, and it's home cooked.
Right.
Everybody just donates and brings in. The community has just been marvelous in their support of this program.
Yes, they have.
And you guys too. Thank you for
thank you. We appreciate
allowing us to tell everybody about this.
Well,
event.
and we usually are there with the camera getting film on that day, and we, as again, we will be this time. But I want you folks to realize, if you haven't been, do yourself a favor, because this is like an old church supper on the ground. It's not brought in containers coming out of a truck somewhere. This is home cooked food by these lovely ladies and their friends who are in support of the Horseplay program and its mission to help these children ride, and it's worth your money. Number one, to help fund this program, and number two, you can't buy a meal that good anywhere else around here.
Right.
So if you like to eat, obviously I do, I'll be there. It's great, not just good food, it's great food.
Well,
everybody seems to really enjoy it, so thank you.
Yes, it's phenomenal food, and all you want of it, it's there, plenty of it, and the desserts, like you say, just, you know, you name it, it's probably going to be there.
Yes,
from
and
chess pies to cheesecakes to whatever you can imagine.
Well, I had one lady come up to me on Sunday, and she is donating a dessert, and she is British. And she is going to make a Victorian cake.
Ooh,
it's a Victorian sponge cake, and it was named because Queen Victoria, this was her favorite dessert. And that's what she's bringing.
Neat.
So we have some really unique things.
That's good. That's good. Monty's going to be back by then, isn't he?
He will. He will be back, and he'll be taking money and eating too, I'm sure.
And we need to mention the carryouts.
Yes.
If you can't come in and eat, then you just call the church. Do we have that number?
The number's on the tickets there, John.
On the ticket. And you tell us how many.
Take out.
Yeah.
841-3109 is for takeout. And you know, if you folks, a lot of you folks out there don't leave your office for lunch, or you bosses out there, you want to do something special for your employees that day, call in and order lunch for everybody that works for you. Send somebody over there to pick it up.
Yep.
And through your business, that's a way that you can help Horseplay raise money.
Yes.
Feed your employees a wonderful meal. They'll love you for it. It's a tax write-off.
We'll love you
Everybody
for it.
wins. You know, so, and that number again is 841-31. There it is on the right up there.
Okay.
3109, and that's for carryouts.
Yep, and you can call anytime Friday morning and just say 3 hams and 6 turkey dinners, and we'll put it together for you, and they'll be ready for you to pick up. You won't lose, you know, that much time at work or anything.
That's great. That's great. And before we stop here again, let's say what date?
It's Friday, October 26th.
Which is
Dine
not
in.
this Friday, but next Friday.
Right, and it's Dine In, which is from 11 till 1:30, and takeout starts at 10:30.
Right, and the cost is $10.
$10 a ticket.
Which you can't go anywhere and get a good meal for $10
that
anymore.
includes
Your
dessert.
meal,
The
beverage,
tea, the drink,
dessert,
salad, and they get to see you girls. And all of their buddies will be over there, and it's kind of fun. One of the things that's kind of fun is to look at all the different kind of aprons people wear.
Yeah.
You know, because it's funny. Women, you know, buy aprons and the different taste and the different way that the different kind of aprons that they wear. I've always found that kind of interesting.
It's really fun to go and see these ladies that come out every year to help us with this, and we don't see them, but maybe every year. Once.
Yeah, and that's great. And again, I think we should, all of us in the community, number one, should thank these ladies for what they do. Their program is a wonderful program. But I just sort of want to give a pitch to Lowe's because, you know, Lowe's does a lot of this type of stuff like they did for you. They came to South Jackson and did a project and helped in a landscape project by donating materials and stuff. And their people come out and help. And I think that's a great service to our community, what they do for our nonprofits and our groups that, you know, because government funding is hard to find right now.
Right.
But all of our nonprofits have a very, very good purpose. None of them are there for anyone's ego. They're all there to serve. But it's hard in a bad economic time to find the funding we all need, because I'm involved with the Art Center and South Jackson Civic Center, and it's hard for everybody to find the funding they need. So you folks help next Friday by buying one of these meals.
We were talking to Peggy before the filming started about, for such a little community, all the things that this community comes together to do for its members, like South Jackson and Horseplay and Shepherd's House. It's just a wonderful community to be a part of.
That's why we're all here.
Yes.
And a day like today outside, folks. This is Tuesday morning we're doing this, and it's a beautiful fall day. It's one of those 10 days in the fall, or 12 with 10 and 12 in the spring. That's perfect. It's what we wait through the other seasons for these days. So, and these lovely ladies, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And all the hard work you do, because I know, Patsy, I'm glad Joanne and Monty are back in the area. They've become they've just melded right in. But you know, you've been working at this for a long time.
I've been at it ever since his conception.
It's a long time.
But you know, it's just about the kids.
Yeah.
And people thank us, but you know, we get more out of that program than we put into it.
Yeah.
When you see a child get out of a wheelchair, get on a horse, and smile from ear to ear, what it does to your heart is worth what we do in Mower.
That's right. That's right. And with thoughts and feelings like that, folks, how in the world can you go wrong? You just can't. We appreciate them. And we appreciate you for helping them. So you make sure next week from Friday, you go out to the Methodist Church here in Tullahoma, get you a meal. If you have a staff, call in an order for all of them and help keep this project rolling. Horseplay. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you, John.
We
Thank
appreciate
you,
you being here and your hard work. We'll be back after these messages.
Being a representative, at least for me, is about building relationships. I consider each person that I meet in Nashville as an opportunity to make life better for the citizens of this district. 10 years ago, I was a freshman representative. Today, I'm Speaker Pro Tem of the Tennessee House of Representatives. That's a decade of connections that have brought jobs and prosperity to this district. Who you know is vital. Who you represent, that's what it's all about. I'm Judd Matheny, and I approve this message.
Over 1,000 tornadoes are reported each year. Would you know what to do if one was in your area? Hi, I'm Sarah Evans with a reminder from the American Red Cross to help yourself and your family be prepared before disaster strikes. Pick a safe place in your home where family members can gather during a tornado. Assemble a disaster supplies kit and conduct periodic tornado drills to practice. To learn more, contact your local American Red Cross chapter or visit www.redcross.org today. Thank you.
Waiting around for things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
All right, folks, this past Saturday night, the Rock Creek, not the Rock Creek Symphony, but the Rock Creek performances that the city's putting on happened again, and Casey Smith was there, and Bob Payne was there with his camera, and we got her.
Miss Casey Smith. Casey.
Drive a tractor, and who says a girl can't hurry? And who says a girl can't shoot a shotgun? Who else said a thing like that? Don't know much anyway, 'cause I'm a country girl. Boyfriend's country girl can't do. I believe that, hey, something's rubbing down me too, 'cause I can skin a buck and I drive a pickup truck, and if you hang But this one's called Alabama Boy, and we hope you enjoy it. Alabama boy, what's so fine, where have you been all my life? Hey, hey. Alabama boy, an Alabama boy with the blue eyes and a pretty smile. Won't you my way? Hey, 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 hey. Alabama boy. Well, I met a young man in Louisiana, went down in New Orleans, but I said goodbye when I said that I will never be his Cajun queen. And then there was a fella from Arkansas, and he treated me so sweet. He tried so hard to win me over, but he couldn't sweep me off my feet. Alabama boy, you are so fine. Where have you been all my life? Hey, hey. Alabama boy, an Alabama boy with the blue eyes and the pretty smile. Won't you look my way? Hey, 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 hey. Alabama boy. I'll take it, Daniel. Well, I grew up in a little bitty town where everybody knows my name. Where time feels like it's standing still and nothing's ever gonna change. You took my breath away when I met you that day. You were laying on the country chart. You shot me a grin and I knew right then you were gonna get my heart. Alabama boy, you are so fine. Where have you been all my life? Hey, hey. Alabama boy, an Alabama boy with the blue eyes and a pretty smile. Won't you look my way? Hey, 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 hey. Alabama boy. Hey, 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 hey. Alabama boy. Hey, 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 hey. Alabama boy.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night at 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now Dr. Ed Lawson from Lawson Holistic Chiropractic Clinic here in Tullahoma. And we had a really good time with Dr. Lawson when he first came in this morning, because our staff and crew here at Channel 6, we decided that Ed's been on this big diet. We think he's been acting a little strange. So they decided that he has a gluten deficiency, and that Ed needs to consume more gluten. So what
like donuts and stuff?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
I used to love some donuts.
Yeah.
No,
you're not going there.
Not going there. It'd be bad.
Yeah. Okay.
It would cause joint pain and hasten diabetes onset and dementia, and I mean it's been related to so many health problems. It's incredible.
But there are a lot of products out there on a serious note.
Yes.
There are a lot of products out there now that are gluten-free. That's kind of a trend happening.
That is, and one of the mistakes people make in doing that is substituting more grains for gluten, and then you develop a sensitivity to those others.
Yeah.
The best thing to do is just to get off most of the grains.
Yeah.
And maybe maintain a few gluten-free grains. And some of the normal ones, some of the ones you wouldn't normally eat, like amaranth and buckwheat and things like that, because they're going to have different nutrients that your body's not used to getting. And the best kind of diet is always a very varied diet. So sometimes when people are changing their diets and they get into a new thing, they make the mistake of staying in a very narrow pathway for eating, and they don't have a varied diet. So you want a lot of different colors. Not a lot of starches. The trick is to keep your insulin low. Mm-hmm. And what happens is when your insulin spikes, that increases the aging.
Really?
Yes. So low glycemic index diet, that means, things that convert to sugar more slowly, that's why you want to minimize the fruits. 2/3 of your diet should be plants. 25% of that should be fresh fruit.
No meat.
No meat. Yeah, 1/3 meat.
Oh yeah.
1/3 meat.
Okay.
2/3 plants.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeds and nuts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And vegetables.
I think I read somewhere where there are some foods, if you don't eat meat, that like beans and stuff like that can take the place of that if you choose not.
Well, legumes shouldn't be on there.
Oh, at all? Right.
No.
Yeah.
And peanuts are a legume. Peanuts should definitely be off the diet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because they've got their peanuts have a mold that grow on them that it has aflatoxin in it, and that is one of the most toxic, carcinogenic substances on the planet.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they're probably pretty high in calories as well.
Calories don't matter if you're eating correctly.
I was going to ask you about that. So counting calories is not the cool way. It's not the latest thing to do anymore, right?
Well, no. If you're eating right, you can't get enough food to worry about calories, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean because the kinds of food you're eating doesn't contain enough calories?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, you've got meat, you've got vegetables, and you got fruits. If you're eating correctly, you can eat all you want.
Yeah. Kind of like low carb. You can eat all you want.
Right, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Only with that Atkins diet thing, they made a mistake of way too much protein.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Protein is bad for you in
large quantities. Sure, it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a lot of fiber in it. There's not a lot of. There's fiber and stuff, and there's some nutrients, but there's not a lot.
Yeah.
But we do convert that to. It's important because it's concentrated food, and that's what we need is concentrated food.
Yeah.
I mean, if we just ate plants, we would have to eat all day long just to get enough to drive our brains.
Really?
Yes.
Unbelievable. What about alcohol? How does that fit into your diet? Bad or good?
To the correct diet or my diet?
The correct diet.
Okay. I think a Pinot Noir.
Pinot Colada.
Pinot Noir.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
It's red wine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. A glass or two a day is okay.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
What about liquor? Hard liquor, like Jack Daniels.
That's not on the diet.
Not on the diet. Yeah. Okay.
That's just, there's 7 calories per serving in that. That's just straight calories.
Yeah.
They call them empty calories, right?
Empty calories.
So if you need an emergency calorie or two, at my work, right? It's like, hey, I need some calories. I'll pour me some.
Okay.
I prefer things on ice myself.
Okay.
Straight.
Okay, the doctor's going to be a comedian today. Is that what's going on? Is that what's happening here?
All right. So here, one of the things I wanted to talk about, though, seriously, is a lot of people make the assumption that they're healthy. Okay, and you're not. I'm sorry. You want to find out if you're healthy? There's a few blood tests. It's very important to do.
Really?
Yeah. Hemoglobin A1C. For every percent that is over 5%, your risk for cancer goes up 18%.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they, and they're going to say, oh, it's okay if it's, 6. It needs to be below 5%.
Okay.
So if you're eating a very good diet, it can be that low.
And that's just something you'd find out from just a normal blood test.
No, normally that's not on the typical blood panel. That has to be ordered separately.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they do run a pretty good blood panel, but that's usually off of it. So the vitamin D is another one, hemoglobin A1C, and your blood fat ratios.
Okay.
Okay, and then so when you that you can do through, you can call my office if you're interested in running that test, and we can hook you up with it. But what you find out is your omega 3s to omega 6 ratio, and it has to be pretty close. If it's not, then you're developing disease as you're sitting there. If you're over 10 to 1, you're in trouble.
So what happens if you find that the hemoglobin is
hemoglobin A1C?
Yeah, suppose it's elevated, and that's a bad thing. What can you do to correct that? Is there something?
Eat right.
Eat right.
That's the only thing.
Right. Okay.
There's nothing else you can do. I mean, you can take some like diabetic medicine or something, but that has its own side effects.
Right.
Like heart disease. It takes you from the number 4 killer to the number 1, right? Something like that.
Doggone it, it's tough.
Well, there's no cheating. You got to eat right.
Yeah.
If you want to live a long, healthy life, you just got to eat right.
What about vitamin D now?
It's like making a cake. If you want a cake to come out really good, you have to have the proper ingredients in the proper ratios, right?
Yeah.
If you want your body to come out really healthy, you have to have the proper ingredients in the proper ratios. So that's that paleo diet in the right ratios. That's the only way. There's no other way. We have evolved eating that way for tens of thousands of years. And then suddenly grains come in the picture, and that's when we developed arthritis. See, the paleo guys, the old guys, they're about, I mentioned this last time, but there are almost 250 populations living today who are still eating that way. No dairy, no dairy, none. No dairy, except for I saw one Indian group, they were drinking fermented mare's milk. Anyway, no dairy and no grains, okay? So here's what happens. They have all their teeth.
Yeah.
They have no heart disease, no diabetes, no arthritis, and no cancer.
And the key to that is no dairy and no grain.
The key to that is no dairy and no grains. And guess what? You look at our food pyramid and now the food's plate or whatever. See, all that's subsidized by the government, right? So it's not going to change. We have to take our health into our own hands if we want to make a difference with our health. We have to study. We have to, read those books. Because they talk about, and the imbalanced fat books in the 90s. These researchers were writing them, and they talk about how our brains work with proper fats and how they don't work. And communication breaks down when you have your fat imbalance. And they said, because this problem is getting worse and worse, you're going to see an increase in global terrorism. They predicted 9/11.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's getting worse.
Unbelievable. It's
So
unbelievable what I learned.
So our
here.
diet is causing a breakdown of our society.
Okay, you said you said no dairy, no grain. Now, also we've determined that sun is bad for you, especially too much of it.
Who's we?
I thought you had mentioned that before.
Well, too much is, sure. Too much of anything's
So
bad.
what do you do about
But you need
vitamin D?
some sun.
How do you get vitamin D?
You get out in the sun and work. But don't let yourself get sunburnt.
Right.
Don't wear sunscreen.
Don't wear sunscreen.
No, it's bad. Unless it's the kind that's not bad. You have to take your health in your own hands. You have to research. We just can't assume that they're going to protect us. Some of this sunscreen's very bad. One problem is it lets in the bad rays. So you get, you can stay out longer without getting burnt, but you get the bad rays that actually cause disease. The other is it's toxic. So you have to have non-toxic sunscreen that blocks out the bad rays as well as the ones that...
I read somewhere the other day that even clones, women's makeup and things like that.
Women's makeup, yes, it's got phthalates in it.
Yeah.
Starts with a P.
Yeah.
You don't say the P.
Okay. Phthalates, okay. That perhaps can cause liver disease, I understand.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. Just rubbing alcohol on your body is not good because it soaks in and it's toxic to the liver. I mean, you can't drink it, so when you gonna rub it on your body, it soaks right through your skin and it gets into your tissues.
Yeah.
So it's better to use grain alcohol for that kind of thing.
The grain alcohol, like you put in an alcoholic drink?
Yeah, yeah. So, but you'd want it a little higher than 80 proof, right? So you'd have to go to PGA.
Yeah, PGA is like.
So you can mix yourself a drink and then sterilize your cuts and attack it from the inside out and the outside.
Yeah, and we better do a disclaimer here. If you're going to drink pure grain alcohol, I think it's 190 proof.
Water it down.
Yeah,
and
you better
do not
be real
drive.
careful. So about that.
Have a designated driver, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a friend when I was much younger. We almost killed giving him that. So be real careful with it. Be real careful with that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay.
You and your disclaimers.
We don't want to get sued, Ed.
No, me either. So drink responsibly.
If you're going to drink responsibly. That's right.
Anyway,
I think they're right. He needs gluten.
No gluten is bad.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So anyway, we another thing I wanted to mention really quick is pain. Because those fats get out of balance and the hemoglobin A1C is bad and all that stuff. It's when the fats get out of balance. Balanced fats are what helps control pain, inhibit the pain molecule.
Right.
Naturally. So when you have balanced fats, you don't have to take painkillers because your body's not going to hurt.
Really?
Yes. So it's very important. The most important thing you can do for your health is balance your fats.
And is that something you can teach people how to do?
Yeah. I can teach you how to do that.
Clinic, okay.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
And it takes dedication, but you got to stop eating omega-6s and just consume the good fats and take the supplements. That's the only way to do it.
Real quick, fish oil was something that...
That's how you balance your fats. You take fish oil.
So some people are recommending that you don't take that anymore, that it doesn't do you any good. I've seen some studies about that, but you still believe that fish oil is a beneficial?
No, there are more studies that show its efficacy than don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. What they're trying to do is keep people sick so they can sell their drugs.
There's a conspiracy out there, right?
That's what they're trying to do.
Really?
Seriously.
I mean, and actually,
when coconut oil was getting big, right? And they came out with a commercial, but it wasn't a commercial. It was a paid-for advertisement by drug companies that talked against it.
Fundamentally, you sort of think your philosophy is
coconut oil helps people manage Alzheimer's. By the way,
it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can talk about that next time.
Yeah.
There's a whole book written on that by a medical doctor who researched the medical literature and found she got her husband out of bed. He was bedridden and had to have 24/7 care. Now he's dressing himself and driving himself from taking 1 tablespoon of coconut oil each meal and at bed.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. That's because when you eat these grains, you cause increased resistance to insulin, right? And when that happens, sugar can't get in your cells to make ATP, which is the gas that drives the cells, right? And so then you start having nerve cell death in your brain. It dies. When that happens, you get those tau fibers, the tangles and all that stuff, and you get Alzheimer's or some other dementia. So when your cells can't make the ATP, things die. So there's another pathway to do that, and that's called ketones.
Yes.
So when you take the medium chain fats like coconut oil, they go right into your digestive tract, right through the liver, get converted into ketones, go to your brain, those ketones go right in the cells and make ATP, bypassing the sugar pathway totally.
So is that something that would maybe be beneficial to someone who had in their genes because of their family, someone in their family
Maybe.
had Alzheimer's? That might help them not get Alzheimer's. Is
No,
that
the best way to avoid that is to go on a no-grain diet, and then if there's some cell death, then they can take care of it that way. But if they fix that so that they fix their insulin resistance, then they can get it the normal way.
And you said that was coconut oil, is that?
Coconut oil, yeah, coconut oil.
And how do you buy that? Is it
At the grocery store.
Really?
Yeah.
And
well, a drug company pulled out one of the fats, made a drug, patented it, and now they sell it. It's really expensive. It's not as effective, however, as coconut oil. That medical doctor tried both.
Do you know what are some of the other uses for coconut oil?
Put it on your skin.
Popcorn. Someone said popcorn.
Yeah, sure, popcorn.
Yeah.
You can cook with it. You fry with it because it has no double bonds. It's all single bonded, so it's going to be resistant to high heat. So it's actually the best oil to fry with, because it's not going to break down and turn into a trans fat and hurt you. Trans fats are bad.
But the study you're talking about, a person just actually took this three times a day.
It's a book, Alzheimer's Disease. Is there a cure? Read it. It's a great book.
Yeah. Okay. This is pretty phenomenal, Ed.
All this stuff is in the medical literature. It's not, it's there.
Right.
All the stuff I talk about, it's in the medical literature. It's in PubMed, so you can go to PubMed and do research. That's all the really top journals in the world. Mm-hmm. Another one in there is adjusting upper cervical for earaches for children. It's in the medical literature.
Right.
It's not like something we make up and talk about because we're chiropractors. It's not in our there's not any, there's Spine Magazine, that's a top journal, but that's not a chiropractic journal. That's about, orthopedics and stuff, but they do have physical therapy and chiropractic articles in there.
Always interesting, Dr. Lawson.
Great to be here.
I never know what I'm going to learn when you come in, and we didn't rehearse this or even discuss it before.
This was totally impromptu.
Totally off the cuff.
You can tell because we talked about consuming responsible
alcohol. Yeah, and cross off the thing about drinking pure grain alcohol.
No, you don't drink that. You have to mix it.
That's
I said mix a drink and then put it on your skin.
Oh, okay.
Drink that and then use it.
All right. And if you'd like to have a personal conversation with Dr. Lawson, you can do that by stopping by his clinic on Maple Hill Drive here in Tullahoma. You'll be glad you did. There's his phone number.
Come on down.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Awesome segment.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good.
There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people.
We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
All right, here we are.
Once again. I want to remind you.
Ed Lawson.
I know
is a trip.
He is a trip, and people need to go see him.
He's a very smart man.
He will crack your bones.
I don't know how he maintains all that knowledge in his. I'd have to. I have all that written down in a reference book here before I could ever go there. And Ed has he knows about almost any subject we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Man.
For sure.
And his assignment was, in this last segment we did here, we were missing a guest, and just so you folks know how this works here, his assignment was we need to be entertaining for 15 minutes, which is twice as long as the regular segment. So,
that's great.
So I was very proud of him.
When is the play?
Oh, I wish I could. November 9th. It opens November 9th. And what is the play?
I don't know.
Over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house.
Yeah,
over the river and through the woods.
Over the river.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun play.
I like the way you did that.
Maybe they'll come next week and talk about it.
That's kind of like if somebody asks you the title of a song and you have to sing it through till you get to the point.
And it doesn't matter what kind of musician. Good job, Ed. Don't forget the haunted house.
Haunted house at South Jackson.
Sunny Acres, Sanitarium,
Asylum, Sanitarium, whatever. They've got ghosts flying in the air over there.
Really?
This weekend and next weekend. So don't forget to come. I think it's only $5.
Yeah. Bring the kids.
Bring the kids.
It's
Bring
great.
them all.
It's a good show.
Have a good time.
Good show. And cleanup this Saturday.
Oh yeah, don't forget that.
The city cleanup here in Tullahoma's this Saturday. Tullahoma Wildcats are playing in McMinnville this week. I don't know where Manchester's going.
Would it be Franklin County?
It might be.
Might be Franklin County. I'm not sure.
How about that guy that jumped from the sky? You know what I'm talking about?
I think the Staggerwing thing's going on this weekend, but you probably can't get into that unless you own
probably
this plant.
Not. You need that's the invitation.
But however it would be.
We'll be seeing some of it.
You'll be seeing a lot of them in the skies around the Tullahoma.
It's supposed to be a pretty weekend.
Yeah.
Now,
beautiful.
The guy that jumped out of the
Felix, I can't think of his last name.
What was that they said last night? The guy jumped.
Was it 21 miles?
24 miles up.
It? Can you imagine doing that?
Wearing a couple of sheets of saran wrap is what they said.
What I loved was he landed on his feet.
Yeah.
That was amazing after spinning through the air.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand he was wanting not to spin.
Right.
And I think the spinning was a big problem.
Because he was losing.
Yeah, something about it'll kill you if you spin too fast too long.
His equilibrium was going crazy, but he never lost consciousness. And I understand that he was scared to death of being he had claustrophobia really bad and had to be trained. And I think he's going to retire after this. He said, I think I'm done.
Did I read that he actually went faster than the speed of sound?
Yes,
on the way
he
down?
broke the sound barrier.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. How do you have the nerve to even
knowing that when you jump out of there, that might be the last thing you ever do.
Yeah.
I know.
You jump until you're dead.
You jump and that's it. And you free falling for how long? 4 minutes and a half.
I think you're right.
It was about 4 and a half.
There was one of the guys I heard discussing it said they thought he would, break into the atmosphere, and they said they thought he'd probably burn up like a raisin.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
Well, but he didn't go up. The atmosphere is, I think, at 32 miles or something like that up. It's where that barrier is, and he was below that.
Just barely.
So he didn't.
What was he?
You're exactly.
What was he thinking?
I don't know.
How does a guy plan this?
Oh, and somebody in Tennessee.
What kind of money does a guy have to orchestrate all of this?
Somewhere here in Tennessee, they built that parachute.
Really?
I saw that on the news as I was on the treadmill this morning. So Tennessee has a spot in that. I don't know where in Tennessee, but it was the parachute itself. Came from Tennessee.
That's interesting.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't be jumping. How about you?
I won't either.
No. I don't even like heights anyway.
Oh, I know.
I get on the ladder.
I get nauseous.
It bothers me.
I viewed the Grand Canyon laying on my stomach.
Did you?
I couldn't stand on the edge of that, on the edge.
That's tough. That's a tough thing for me as well.
I get lightheaded. It just makes me crazy.
It's not. It wasn't that way for me as bad when I was young as it is now. But I mean, I can't. I can't. I walk over to the edge of something. You know, it's going. I don't like that.
Yeah, me either. I never have.
Oh my gosh.
Even when I was young.
Just thinking about
and we, Fuller, we've been on the edge a bunch.
We've been on the edge.
You guys have lived on the edge.
We have.
I think you're on the edge right now.
We're on the edge of being having to go. Folks,
we'll be back.
We'll be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Enjoyed you. Come on back and see us again.